Welcome to LawNext Press Briefing. This is Bob Ambrogi, and today we're going to be hearing about ProfitSolv and its suite of companies. And here to discuss it with us are two people from the company. And I'll have each of you kind of introduce yourself a little bit. Karen, you want to kick it off?
Absolutely. Thanks for having us, Bob. My name is Karen Dixon. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at ProfitSolv, and I've been with the company for 2 years. And really excited to be here today with Lauren, who is our head of product, who can talk about her background.
Great. And Lauren,
Great.
you want to
Yeah, thank you for
yourself?
having me. Lauren Murphy here. I'm the SVP of product, and I oversee the product strategy for ProfitSolv. I've been in the legal space for about 8 or 9 years, supporting companies across the spectrum. And so it's been exciting to kind of be I was more on the consulting side, and now I'm more on the operating side. And so it's been a fun time to kind of get my hands dirty building out some really exciting new product features over the last 2 years.
So this is a really interesting conversation to me because ProfitSolv owns a group of companies, some of which I have followed from their earliest days and known for a long time, even before they were part of ProfitSolv, and to see them all come together in this way has been fascinating for me. But Karen, you want to kick it off? Can you kind of give us the introduction to ProfitSolv and to what you do?
Absolutely. And fun fact, Lauren and I both started on the same day 2 years ago. So we've been in this together since the new evolution, I would say, of ProfitSolv. But I can give you a little bit of background because, as you said, ProfitSolv has been around for about 5 or 6 years now. However, the businesses that roll up into ProfitSolv, some of them have really been around for many, many years. ProfitSolv is a portfolio of technology brands serving the legal, accounting, and other professional services firms. And we really provide practice management, billing, payments, and firm operations software and technology. Our portfolio includes some well-known SMB legal brands like CosmoLex, Rocket Matter, TimeSolve, that all serve the SMB market, mostly in legal. And then we have some mid-market brands that service the enterprise and mid-market space. So Tabs3 and Orion. And Bob, I'm sure Tabs3 is a very familiar business for you because it's been around for over 40 years.
I knew Dan Berlin, probably one of the first people I ever met in the legal tech world way back when. Is there sort of a theme that defines ProfitSolv's world that distinguishes it from maybe some of the other product groups out there?
Yeah, I think for us, what we really focus on is that end-to-end experience, right? I think our view here is that there are distinct differences in how law firms should think about the way they intake customers, the way they manage their practice, and then also the way they bill out and invoice their customers. And we really looked at platforms that really were strong in those different aspects of that kind of life cycle. And so even as you think about something like Rocket Matter, we've brought over the accounting aspect of that into Rocket Matter from CosmoLex, because we truly think that law firms need less solutions, not more. And really, there should be a solution out there that does everything for them on that customer life cycle, from intake through to the management of the matter, and then through on to billing. So that kind of true kind of all-in-one solution. And you see that in CosmoLex, you see that in Rocket Matter, you see that in Tabs3, and you see that in Orion. So,
yeah. Karen, anything to add to that? Or?
Only that we're really invested in our next-gen platform, which is where ultimately we're moving all of our brands. So, we really want to make sure that we're providing the best technology across SMB, mid-market, enterprise, regardless of what the firm size is. There is a commonality, which is really taking the admin away from the day-to-day and making, allowing lawyers to focus on what they enjoy doing, what they went to law school to do. They want to grow their business. They want to focus on their clients, giving them the best service, giving them the best experience. And so we're really focused on providing them with the platform that's going to enable them to not have to worry about the accounting, about the payments, about the intake process, and really focus on what they want. So
yeah.
I would say that that's the theme. And the idea here is to take these disparate platforms that we've acquired over the years and create one really solid platform that we can continue to build out features that are really most relevant to sort of our mission.
So does that mean that those individual brands go away and all move into a single platform?
It's a really good question. Our ultimate brand strategy is still in the works. However, we have already consolidated Rocket Matter into CosmoLex. They were very similar and competing very similar in similar spaces and markets. So we felt that it was best for our customers to focus on one brand, one platform to give them the best product, the best solution, rather than spreading ourselves thin from, across the board. That is likely the way that will continue until we sort of get to an end state over the next several years. The ultimate end state and the brand name is still to be determined. It could potentially be ProfitSolv. It could potentially be one of our other businesses, but we're really focused on creating, the best brand experience right now. And ultimately what the customers want and, our strength in the market will determine where we go.
So in CosmoLex and Rocket Matter are more that SMB market. And then when you get into the more of the mid market, are you kind of moving in that same direction?
We are. For tabs 3, really the goal is, to take our customers who are on an on-premise solution and migrate them to the private cloud. Ultimately, we think that that's going to be a better experience for them. And again, where we're focusing on investing and giving them the best experience. So yes, the idea is for, mid-market to also be, in the cloud and connected more with the SMB and with Orion Law, which is our enterprise solution.
Yeah, we want to make sure that the mid-market and enterprise get to leverage these AI tools that are out there and our own AI solutions that we're building. And so moving more towards a private cloud environment allows them to do that. We're also looking to just improve the customer experience, and we can do that faster in a private cloud environment from a UX and UI ability. So Tabs 3 Connect, which has been a product for a while, but the 2.0 version is coming out later this month. And that's a completely new user interface for the lawyer and allows them to really kind of more easily manage their day-to-day in that Tabs 3 environment. We'll also be able to get AI features as well through that.
Yeah. And how much is, you just alluded to this, but how much is AI and generative AI driving some of the direction that you're moving in right now?
I think it's driving the direction for everyone. I think for us, what we really want to make sure is that we're building solutions that add value to the customer and aren't just AI for AI's sake. So the work that we're doing in the platform is focused on areas where we think that AI can really add value, on the intake process in terms of how you think about bank reconciliation. And I think the second thing for us that's really important is building a scalable AI architecture. And so we're really also focused on making sure that the platform can scale as we add more AI features, as we add agentic AI agents into the platform, that we're not losing that performance and that experience that customers have grown so far.
Yeah. How are customers reacting to this? Talk about something like Tabs 3, where some of those customers have probably been on that product for, I don't know,
40 years.
40 years? Okay.
Interestingly enough, they are some of our more excited customers around AI. They're really asking for it. They want to understand, are we building on an MCP? How should they be thinking about Claude and chat? And interestingly enough, I think partially because they have so much data and they're used to being able to kind of leverage that to drive business decisions, they see AI as a tool to be able to do that. And they look to us to partner to build out those solutions for them and to also help them navigate this rapidly changing environment.
Yeah. And you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't stay on premises and also get the benefits of all the AI tools that are out there. So I guess they get that.
I think where we've focused our AI features too makes a lot of sense because we are leveraging it in a way that stays true to our mission and stays true to really helping our clients be more efficient and effective and kind of pivot, as we know that the entire model around, the legal space and how lawyers are charging for their time is changing. We're really enabling them to work smarter and, not just use AI, like Lauren said, for the sake of it, really using it in a way that's going to streamline their processes and their operations. And we're getting really phenomenal feedback in our AI betas right now from customers who are using these features, saying that they were just blown away how quickly and easy it was to create intake forms and to streamline the intake process. So that's really exciting for us because we really feel like we've kind of hit on what we were aiming to do here.
So is the end point in terms of your product lineup basically two products, one for SMB and one for midsize, or is it a little more complex than that?
I mean, our goal is really to be able to serve from solo to enterprise, right? That idea that we believe our current brands do that today, and we want to continue to make sure that we're building the best cloud products for those segments. So we understand that solo user that just wants a time and billing solution because of TimeSolv, and we understand that enterprise user that wants kind of more advanced financial management because of Orion. And our goal is to really build out a platform that addresses, those needs start to finish. And so that you can actually scale with us, right? The ability to come in as a solo, and as you grow and add more users, more attorneys, bring in more matters, you don't have to change platforms. You can just add more features and functionality that address your needs.
Interesting. Yeah. So maybe it's not even two platforms. Maybe it's one that's more modular that you can build on and
exactly.
develop.
Yeah. I mean, we're rolling out a new pricing and packaging in the coming weeks. And part of that is to give people more of a modular way to buy, right? This idea that one size fits all for a law firm has been the case for a long time in legal, right? Everyone's had 3 or 4 packages, priced relatively the same, with relatively the same features in each.
Right.
And we want to give customers the ability to kind of like buy what they need, but also see us as a partner that as they grow and scale, that we can kind of come in there and give them, additional features and functionality that address those kind of new pain points they now have.
Yeah. What about different types of practices, not in terms of firm size, but in terms of areas of focus? Are you addressing that at all in your products?
Yeah, so we're a little bit more of a generalist, I'd say. And I think there's obviously, players out there that are focusing on, personal injury or immigration. But I think for us, our customer set is really someone who is billing in different manners, right? That they have maybe some hourly billing, some contingency billing, and we can really help them kind of manage through that in a single platform. And so I'd say we're building out features that allow for specialization, but we're not saying like we are the platform for personal injury, but we have features that allow you to kind of address those needs there.
Yeah.
And one area that I think that it's not a practice area, but it's a geography is our strength in Canada. And I think it's important to talk about that a little bit too, because of CosmoLex's roots and because CosmoLex was really built for the Canadian market and to meet the standards and the requirements of the Canadian lawyers. So we know that if it's going to meet Canada's needs, then it's more than enough to meet the United States needs. So we're really using that brand to, expand our footprint both in Canada and the US, and make sure that our strength as as an accounting tool is really kind of coming through. And I think that that's one of our differentiators, especially when you look at our competitive set out there. I don't think anyone has as strong of a product as we do.
Yeah. I think, stretching my memory, but as I recall, it was, I think, the first practice management platform way back when, even before ProfitSolv days, to get kind of official adoption by
the Canadian Bar Association.
The Canadian Bar.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was a big deal at the time. It still is.
Yeah, it still is.
It still is.
Still definitely is. Yeah. And I think what it's allowed us to do is build on our strength in accounting and then add more robustness to our practice management side. And again, I think another aspect is we've with intake that we're rolling out in the coming weeks, we built that into the platform, right? There's no toggling between different solutions. We didn't buy intake and now we're adding, you have to toggle between it. It's built in. So there's a single experience for the user. And I think that's been something that we really we thought was important when we built the accounting and then added practice management, and now adding that kind of intake CRM aspect as well.
Are you talking about the AI intake form builder that you're developing?
Form
or is
builder,
this a broader?
and with that's coming workflow builders, which will come later this month, and really building out a full intake suite within the CosmoLex product.
Yeah. Do you want to just describe a little bit more in a little more detail what that is or what that?
I can give a quick demo if that's
That'd
helpful.
be great if you want to do that. Sure.
Yeah. Let me just sign in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we spoke about, this is a full platform, right? All in one. So you see accounting here, practice management, but our newest tab to add here is intake. And our first feature rolling out for intake is forms. And so we have this ability to leverage AI to actually build forms. So I can go here and add a new form. We'll do, let's see, family law form. And then this little icon here, you can actually use AI to generate the form for you, kind of that's first starting point. So I can ask it to generate a basic.
Without any inputs or anything, just.
Yep. Nothing there. Yeah. So give it a little time to analyze our requirements, build a structure. And then here's the form that it's built. So kind of what's the basic intake information you'd need? Full name, address, phone number, date of birth, primary address, family information, case information. And then over here, you can add additional kind of fields as you need them. So I can drag and drop in a single choice and quickly add options. And even leverage AI to kind of build out some custom fields if needed. So it's a very kind of, what we think about AI is it giving you that kind of starting point for your form. And then as needed, you can customize it more to your different firm's needs. But it's a great tool to kind of start you out. And then over time, it will learn from you in terms of what your firm's needs are, kind of what types of things are you continually dragging over and adding. And over time, it should make form building even easier for your firm.
Yeah.
So this is our first kind of feature that we've added to our new kind of intake aspects of the platform. And we have a bunch of other additional feature rollouts coming over the coming months. So it's really exciting for the team.
Are the other feature rollouts that you have coming AI related? I mean, what else are you doing in the area of developing AI?
Yeah. So for AI, for intake, we have this. We also have intake. It will be a AI workflow builder. And so what that will do is, if you think about the intake process, we talked to a bunch of customers and their biggest feedback is intake has so many touch points and it's so time consuming. And so what we have this intake form builder do, which will actually create the workflow for you of all the different touch points. So a form comes in, AI will then send your response. Okay, they've booked a meeting with you. Here's the payment link now goes out. That payment's now been processed, and it will actually kind of oversee the entire workflow from kind of form building through to matter creation, and kind of help you manage through that process without needing a person intervening in every step of the way. So it's an exciting kind of automation that we're adding to the intake process.
And you can create multiple workflows for different kinds
workflows for different types of firms, different types of matter types. Different attorneys can have different flows for each thing that they want to manage. And then we're building out a dashboard that they'll be able to kind of track their leads as they come in and then kind of move them through from lead to matter. So
That's great.
Yeah, we did a lot of work with our customers, and one of the things that came through a lot is just the pain point around intake, right? That especially in this day and age where, maybe the billable hour isn't worth what it was before. And so you maybe need to bring in more customers to make your revenue goals. It's like, how do I get customers in faster? How do I make sure that they're someone that I can actually, turn into a matter? And so the feedback was to do that, there's so many touch points of emails, follow-up emails, sending different forms, follow-up phone calls, getting payment links out. And we just wanted to create a process for our customers that just made it easier for them and automated more of that and let them kind of go back to lawyering and less being kind of an intake manager. So far, the beta feedback has been highly positive, and this feature here rolls out the first week of August, and then workflows will follow quickly behind that in the next kind of 2 to 3 weeks after.
That's great.
We also have some other AI features as well, Lauren, correct? I mean, we have a passive timekeeping coming out as an option, and document scanning, correct?
Yes, and then let me show you another kind of fun feature that we have that's in the AI space. So if we go to invoices here, obviously you have a lot of invoices, right? And it's kind of hard to manage them. And so we hope we added this new kind of AI natural language filtering. So now you can kind of ask, can I see all unpaid? Let's make sure I can.
It's always hardest to type when you're in a demo, right?
I know. All unpaid invoices over 500. So it's running the filter here, and there we go. Yep. And then it shows you here as well kind of the filters that you have on. So you can add additional filters if you wanted, so that it doesn't feel, you could add on to this or remove them quickly if it wasn't coming back the way you wanted. So we kind of just wanted to make it easier to filter through all of these kind of tables that we have in the application.
Yeah. Do you see having that kind of a more of a conversational interface with other parts of the platform as well, or?
We do, yeah. I think that's kind of where we're headed in many respects, right? I think the market is definitely more broadly thinking about natural language as the way to search for things, to ask for reports, to ask for feedback on kind of billable hours, things like that. And so we are currently in beta with a few of our customers, kind of working through some of that kind of chat agent type of feature. I think for us, what we want to make sure we do is that it provides value, right? So I think there's a lot of chat bots, and there's a lot of those types of things in the platform. And so we're playing around with how to make sure that the AI that we're introducing is both reactive to the customer's needs, but also proactive in some respects to their needs. So how can we leverage AI to be pushing things to the customers to help them make decisions faster, to help them kind of improve their business, or help them, get paid faster, things like that. So alerting them to unpaid invoices, or the ability to collect, because you've actually closed out that invoice. So things like that. So just kind of making sure that we're giving them both a reactive place to go, but also proactive feedback. Great. So another AI feature that we've recently released is, obviously, documents are a very big aspect of being a lawyer, and they're very extensive. And so we added AI document summaries to the platform recently. And this is really a feature that we consider to be kind of table stakes in the AI space. And so a lot of our customers are able to leverage this regardless of package. And you can see here, go back, I hit this little icon right here. And this provides me with a quick summary of kind of what is in this document. So I can click open the document, and it gives me kind of the details of what am I looking at here. It's a sample client engagement letter template that outlines the terms of legal representation. If this was a little bit more extensive, it would have kind of key details and outline. But yeah, we've added this, and this has been really great. Customers have really loved this, especially kind of to give them a quick glimpse of kind of what documents they have for each matter, and kind of what are the key takeaways and details coming off of it.
Can they have that on by default, or do they have to click each time they want to view it in a document? Or
they have to click each time they want to view in the document as of right now. But again, product is always evolving, so it's pretty good. That's some good feedback, Bob.
All right.
But yeah, no, it's been well received by customers for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, good. All right, thank you.
We have some new partnerships that we have with some passive time tracking solutions out there. So Point One being one of them that we're partnering with to make sure that we provide our customers with passive time tracking as a way to make sure they're not losing any of their billable hours. In addition to that, we're working through, improving our payments flow, right? I think getting customers paid faster is really important. And we want to make sure that we're facilitating the ability for them to do online payments, or, not check-based payments. So we're doing, remote check capture, adding more payment links to our emails, making sure that they have, QR codes as well that they can leverage. So giving them more options, rather than just the usual, either it's a check or it's a credit card. We want to make sure that we're facilitating payments in a faster way.
Yeah.
And then something else, we touched on a little bit before as well, but our new packaging is coming out in the next few weeks, and I'm really excited about it. Not just because it allows us to be a little bit more modular based on our prospects and our customers' needs, but it's also introducing a launch plan, which is going to be an entry-level plan, which is something that we've really not had in the past. And I'm excited about this because it really gives people the ability to try our product without a huge commitment and get a taste of some of our features, our basic features, which could be perfect for a solo firm as they're starting out, and then grow into our core program or our pro, whatever their needs might be or their practice type might look like. But this is exciting for us because it allows us to serve a part of the market we've just not been able to serve before.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So that's all coming down the pike. For somebody who's watching this now, what's the best way for them to both find out more about the products that you have and keep track of what's coming? from you?
Absolutely. I think if they're a customer in the SMB space, so a solo all the way up to 10, even 15 lawyers in their practice, go to CosmoLex and check out the website, submit a form to schedule a demo with one of our sales folks. And that way they can get more information, ask a lot of questions, take a personalized tour of the product, even more so than Lauren showed us today, and really kind of tailor, our product to what their needs are. So that's one way. I think if they're a more of a mid-sized firm, and they'd be interested in looking at Tabs 3, they could go to the Tabs 3 website and do similar, check out our free trial on Tabs 3 or schedule a demo with one of our sales folks there as well. We do have a lot of add-on products as well, which, I think it's important to say that not only do we provide practice management, but we are also able to create a website for a new firm or a firm who needs an updated website. We'll be able to enable Google Ads campaign for them and manage that for them so that they can generate more leads. And we also have a CRM program that's specifically built for lawyers, and lawyers especially that have, large customer bases like personal injury where they have a lot of communications out to their customers. And so we have a lot of great add-on products. We have a file share program as well. We've got payments. So, not to make this a big ad or anything,
We're here to talk about you.
There's a lot to talk about, and I think we have a lot of great solutions for all different types of firms.
Yeah. Well, it's really interesting. I've been fascinating to hear the direction you're moving in, and it sounds like we've got a lot of good stuff coming. Do you guys do trade shows at all, or can people find you at any upcoming conferences?
Yes, we're at all the big ones. We were at Legal Week and Tech Show. Would love to talk to anybody at the upcoming shows. We're also doing a conference, our own conference this October. We've always done a Tabs 3 Fall Forum for our consultants, and we're making it bigger, and we're moving it out of Lincoln, Nebraska, which is exciting. We're going to make it a little more accessible for folks to get to in Atlanta in October. And we'd love to host anyone in the consulting space who wants to learn more about our products and, feel like it's an opportunity for them to sell a really great, technology solution into law firms. And so we've got a partnership channel that we can introduce them to and talk more about how we can get folks onto that.
Sounds good. All right. Anything in closing before we wrap up? Or
I think that's it.
That's it.
Covered a lot.
We covered a lot. All right. Well, Karen and Lauren, thank you so much for taking the time to give this update on everything you've been up to. You guys have been busy, and looking forward to seeing how this continues to develop.
Thanks so much, Bob. Yeah, we're looking forward to staying in touch.
All right.
Thank you.
And that does it for this press briefing. You can find all of them on our YouTube channel or on my blog, Law Sites. Just search for LawNext there on YouTube, and you can find all of these videos there. This is Bob Ambrogi. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.